Good morning. Welcome to another K's Tuesday Tips. I hope all of you are doing well and you are feeling great and you are ready to conquer the day. So today, my goal is to talk to you about common oral diseases and remedies. We've been talking about oral health for about a month now, and it's been awesome. We've talked about what oral health is. We've talked about toothpaste alternatives. We've talked about what to eat for your teeth. And today we're going to talk about what are some of the common oral diseases and the remedies for them. So of course, if you're interested in any of the other topics, definitely check out the other videos from the other weeks. But before I start, I just want to let you know that this has been an interesting journey for me. I've learned a lot about tooth and oral care, as well as just, what's working, what works and what doesn't. And I'm hoping that you have learned a lot as well. So today I'm going to keep it really short. I'm going to talk about just a few things that I've seen to be an issue as far as oral health are concerned, and just some of the things that you could start to do today. I will preface by saying that for anything, even just any kind of discomfort or pain, not just in your teeth or your gums, but anywhere in your body, it is good to go ahead and consult your physician or your dentist or your OBGYN or whoever it is that you see to help you maintain your health and improve your health. And that's because they typically have things that can look at, they have instruments and x-ray machines and all these different things that they can go in and actually see what's going on, and they can give you an idea of what's going on with your body. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just look at a few common, I like to call them non-serious oral problems, because they can be treated easily just by changing a few different things. Okay, so as I mentioned, please go to your dentist if you see these things happening as well, just so that you can get a second opinion. Self-treating is great. Listening to your body is great, because your body will tell you what's going on, but you always want that extra support. Okay, so the first one is, well, I will say that dental problems are, really never fun. But the good news is that there are ways that these can be prevented. Things as simple as brushing every day, twice a day, flossing, eating properly, and regular dental checks, dental checkups. These are the things that will definitely help you to gain and maintain, good oral health. So it's important to educate yourself about dental problems, especially the non-serious common problems, and their causes, because you can definitely prevent these things from happening, or at least treat them if they are happening. You've heard prevention is better than a cure, and that is so true in anything, really, because once you can prevent the issue, you don't have to worry about trying to get to the place where you didn't have the issue, or you don't have the issue, right? So number one is bad breath. It's also called halitosis. Now, most of us have bad breath in the morning, but this is bad. This is consistent bad breath. If you just have bad breath and people complain about your bad breath, there could be a few things going on with your mouth. Definitely gum disease, things like gingivitis and periodontal disease, cavities, oral cancer, which is a little bit more serious, and of course things like dry mouth. Now, when you have dry mouth, that's something so simple that you can just really fix almost immediately by drinking water or eating things that create more saliva, things like peppermint that we talked about before, chewing gum, sugarless gum, things like celery, and I'm sorry, I'm blanking here. I apologize. Things like, leafy green vegetables, raw, because those will make you create more saliva in your mouth. And just drinking plain water. Water will also make you have more water in your mouth, okay? So by having dry mouth, it causes bacteria to grow. Bacteria on the tongue as well is can also cause bad breath. So how can you do this? How can you remove the bad breath? You just want to brush, as I said earlier. Really, brushing is the number one. So if you don't brush, consider starting. Okay, so bad breath can be treated by brushing and flossing, and then you can also use things like diluting your hydrogen peroxide with water, and then mouth washing, because that also kills bacteria. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is tooth decay. We talked about tooth decay in my other videos. I have my notes here. And what it is they're also considered cavity. They're called cavities. That's what tooth decay is, okay? And a lot of us have tooth decay or cavities. Is actually one of the reasons, one of the things that a lot of us have, okay? And this occurs when you have plaque, the sticky substance that forms around your teeth, okay? And when it combines with sugar and or starch, also known as carbs, of the food that we eat, this combination produces acid, and that is what attacks your enamel, and that's how you end up having a cavity. So just know that not just children have cavities. We always think children are the ones that have cavities because they're the ones that like sugar and sweets, but you can have it at any age, okay? And just because you don't eat sugar proper doesn't mean that you don't eat a lot of starches and carbs and things like that. So you want to always be mindful of that. You can develop cavities at any age, and a lot of times it comes through dry mouth, especially if you're older. It comes through dry mouth because you're taking medicine. So hydrate, okay? And also brush twice a day, floss, and go to the dentist. I mean, some of these things, it's so easy. Just brush your teeth, okay? And then, of course, eat healthy foods and avoid snacks and drinks that are high in sugar. So, your sodas, your gummy bears, your Jolly Ranchers, your Twix, chocolate, anything with a lot of sugar, try to avoid that. And then, of course, if you do eat it, try to brush your teeth immediately after to cut down on the sugar around your teeth, okay? So that's pretty easy. I think everyone can do that. Number 3 is gum disease, okay? There are 2 types of gum disease. We have gingivitis and we have periodontitis, okay? I think I'm saying that correctly. Gingivitis is pretty regular, as well as periodontitis. They're just, what it is that your gums are infected, okay, around the teeth. And a lot of times you'll know when you have bleeding gums. You'll find that your gums are impacted. They've moved up. They're not close to, they're not where they're supposed to be. They're swollen and they're super red, okay? And they're inflamed and they're tender and they're bleeding and you have sensitive teeth and it hurts to chew. You may have gum disease, okay? So one of the things to do, definitely, as I was mentioning before, I gave you some alternatives for toothpaste last week. And was it last week? Yes. No, I'm sorry. 2 weeks ago. And what I did was I gave you my recipe, which is baking soda with some coconut oil. It just sits here ready to be shown, okay? And I showed things like using turmeric to help with inflammation and things of that nature. So if you, if you combine the two and brush your teeth, you can really help relieve some of the stress in the gums and remove some of the swollenness and the soreness and the bleeding, okay? So consider that if you are having, gingivitis or periodontal disease, okay? And then number 5, it's not really, I guess it's an oral disease, it's like an oral problem, is a mouth sore. Now, I'm not talking about the sores outside your lip, okay? Those may mean that you have, may have the herpes simplex virus. Now, for that, those are like almost not curable. So they'll come and go as for your lifetime. So if you have those, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those little sores that are inside the mouth. They're called canker sores. And like for me, I get them. I never really know why I get them. Sometimes they just come. And I think it's usually when I'm really stressed out or I eat something with lots of salt, then I get them. And they're little white blisters inside the mouth, okay, not outside. And those typically will go away on their own, but they're annoying and they're painful. So one of the things that I like to do is use myrrh, essential oil myrrh. Like, you know, the story of Jesus being born, and then the wise men came and they gave him frankincense and myrrh. The myrrh is the one, the oil of myrrh is what you want, okay? I will tell you that it is a really pricey essential oil. It's like $40 for like that little thing I was showing you. But it really, really works. You just put it on there, just dab a little bit, and then tomorrow it's gone. It's like magic. So if you get canker sores a lot, consider using the oil of myrrh, okay? Also, I know Dr. Oz had like a remedy for it. I couldn't find it, but I'll keep researching, and if I find it, I'll go ahead and put it on the comments as well. I don't know if he was using myrrh as well, but I know that the oil of myrrh really helps, and it really works if you have canker sores. And for me, they typically come right like in the aligned with my canine teeth, and then I bite it, and it's horrible. Okay, so if you get those and you know what I'm talking about, consider myrrh. Okay, so it's not really, I mean, it is, but it's not. It's not like teeth or gum problem. It's more so like a mouth problem, and some people get that. Okay. Now, two of the last things that I'm going to talk about is tooth erosion and tooth sensitivity. Now, tooth erosion is basically your enamel is completely gone, or it's not completely gone, but the tooth structure is you don't have it. You're losing the tooth structure of your teeth, and you'll find that you have cracking in the teeth, or you're very, very sensitive because you don't have any enamel, because, well, you know, the acid and all of the stuff that I was talking about with tooth decay, that's what happens when you have tooth decay, and then it turns into tooth erosion because now you don't have your enamel. So this is where the remedy of using the activated charcoal and using bentonite clay in your toothpaste, and I believe I did put a recipe for that in the comments. That is, and I'm sorry, I actually attached a link to an article that I wrote about activated charcoal toothpaste. So it has a recipe in there, definitely. So go check it out if you're looking for something like that. But what it does is it uses activated charcoal, bentonite clay, coconut oil, as well as I'm sorry, I'm blanking again, as well as tea tree oil and peppermint oil. Okay, so you brush your teeth, and the reason why we use the activated charcoal as well as the bentonite clay, it's because it helps pull away all the toxins away from your gums and your teeth. And when you remove all of the toxins and all the bacteria and all the stuff that is not good, it allows your teeth an opportunity to regrow your enamel. Now, that was one of the things that I talked about at the beginning of this series, was that you can actually regrow your teeth. So if you still have your teeth, you could regrow them. It does take work, okay? It does take you eating well, cutting out all the sugar from your diet, really, for a while, okay? Because sugar is it's just not good. I already told you this. Sugar is not good, okay? But then also you can use the activated charcoal toothpaste to remove all of the abscess and all of the stuff that you don't need in your teeth and your gums, in order to allow it to heal. And you will find that as you continue to use it, you will be able to restore your teeth, your enamel. You will be able to restore it. Okay, so please remove from your head that it is not possible to regrow your teeth, because it is. Your teeth are bones. Just the way your bone, if you break it, it will find a way to bind itself again. Same thing with your teeth. How exciting. Okay. And then lastly is tooth sensitivity. And again, this goes back to tooth decay, tooth erosion. It's the same thing. You just want to go ahead and remove the stuff you shouldn't be using in your, your sugars, your carbs, and then replace it with whole healthy foods that will restore your enamel. Okay, so here's the thing. What will restore your enamel? When I was younger and I was back home, what we did, I saw like the older people who still had their teeth, by the way, sucking on the bones of a cow or a goat or the chicken. They would suck on them and crush it like with the chicken bones. They would like bite the bite the bone until it's like completely like gone. Okay. And it looks weird, and for some, you're already probably grossed out. So I'm sorry, I know it's early in the morning. But the reason why they did that is because the bones have collagen. Okay? So here in America, everyone is doing bone broth. So if you're into the bone broth, please continue, because that is one of the best ways to regrow, not just your awesome skin, but also your bones. And so to restore your enamel, consider adding bone broth. Okay, I find my favorite one is the one from the cow, from the bison. I go buy some bones from the market, and then I put them in my crock pot and I boil them down, and I put apple cider vinegar and some nice spices in there, and I drink it like tea, and it's awesome. Okay, so if you want a recipe, I will go ahead and add my article in the comments below as well, so that you can definitely go look at it. I have like 2 articles there, two recipes in the article that you can try. Okay, and I mean, you could put avocado, you can mix it up, you can cook with it, you can just drink it straight. It's awesome. So these are the things that I wanted to talk to you about. Today is a short video. I did want to say hi to Josie. Thank you so much for watching and being around. And until next time, I do want to do a bonus, because we can't just talk about oral health and not talk about the tongue. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of awesomeness, about the tongue that I will talk with you about next week. Okay, and just 9 surprising secrets your tongue can reveal about your health. So we'll talk about that and see what we can learn. Okay, so until next time, remember, a healthy thoughts beget a healthy mind, and a healthy mind beget a healthy body. So you all have a healthy, awesome day. Bye.